And now moving on to South America, where Venezuela is once again turning to an unusual weapon in the face of rising pressure from the United States. And it's not diplomacy or speeches, but a cartoon superhero with a thick mustache and a mission to save the nation. His name is Super Mustache, the animated alter ego of President Nicolás Maduro, and he's become the face of the country's evolving propaganda campaign as tensions with Washington continue to escalate. Now, this figure, of course, is not new. In fact, since 2021, episodes of Super Mustache, or Super Bigote, as he's known in Spanish, has aired on state television. The show blends humor, exaggerated heroics, and political messaging to portray Venezuela as a nation's under threat from foreign powers. Previous episodes have mocked U.S. leaders and even tech billionaire Elon Musk. In one storyline, Super Mustache defeats a satanic person who resembles Musk and sends him to Mars with the power of God. But now, specifically from September, U.S. warships have moved closer to the Venezuelan coast, and President Donald Trump has openly discussed military options. And as real-world tensions continue to sharpen, the tone of the cartoon has also shifted. In an episode aired just days after the U.S. attacked the first alleged drug boat in the Caribbean, Super Mustache traded his superhero suit for a military uniform, declaring that Venezuela is not a nation that seeks war. That message, however, sits in stark contrast with the Maduro government's actions. Officials have urged citizens to prepare for possible conflict while simultaneously insisting that everything is normal. Now, the contradiction is visible on the streets of Caracas as well. There are no posters, murals, or slogans urging support for a wartime stance, unusual for a government that traditionally relies on heavy public messaging. President Maduro himself has taken a more personal approach. Once a leader who favored controlled indoor appearances, he now appears almost daily in public, accompanied by tight security. Instead of projecting military strength, he casts himself as a peacemaker.
It is to the people of the United States that I speak to at this moment, before these 100 jurists from 34 countries, to say, stop the insane hand of those who order bombing, killing, and bringing war to South America, to the Caribbean. Stop the war. No to war.
Queremos otra Gaza ahora en Sudamérica.
At one event, he even sang John Lennon's Imagine, calling on President Trump to meet him for face-to-face talks. Now, analysts say this split-screen communication strategy, humor and defense on one side, calm and negotiation on the other, has evolved as the crisis continues to deepen. And now, contrary to Maduro's softer tone, another influential figure in the government is taking a harder line. Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello. On his long-running state TV show, Cabello mixed jokes with lengthy political attacks. In fact, he rejects Washington's claim that its actions in the Caribbean are, in fact, about drug trafficking.
We live in peace in this country. Just leave us alone. It's undoubtedly aggression. These military exercises they're conducting jointly with Trinidad are provocations, denounced in this statement you're referring to.
Meanwhile, Venezuela has released dramatic video of soldiers training, another sign of the uncertainty beneath the surface. And that's the dilemma Venezuela now confronts, a government trying to prepare its people for every outcome without triggering the fear of a nation on the brink. And as tensions continue to rise and the rhetoric sharpens, one question continues to linger. If the crisis reaches its peak, will Super Mustache's sword remain a symbol, or will the regime demand something far more real?
I was a revolutionary. I became a ruler. I claimed to protect my people. I terrorized them instead. I built palaces. I started wars. I lost everything. Some called me a defender of Arab pride. History remembers me as a dictator. Who am I?